the best thing I can say really is that if you're interested in like that realm of harmony, a composition technique is really what you're looking for. Methods, like what methods are they using? And it's Bach's were really fantastic. What I really like about his methods was that he, if I described the stuff he did, you would hear it like you would think there's a box to be within, right? How did he do so much while being confined by that little box, you know? And then what I've come to think is that it's not at all a little box. I think it's knowing what you're doing. And knowledge is seen sort of as a box. When you live in a culture as we do, where people think like, I don't know how I did it, man. I just reached around the dark and infinite possibilities of space and time, you know? And you're just talking about some guy who doesn't know what he's doing. And maybe he did great, you know? Maybe he does know a few things, and maybe basically if you know very little, then you bump into something you didn't know sort of on accident, and you had this creative explosion in your mind. You're just like, whoa, man. I didn't, because you thought you knew a lot, maybe, whatever. Maybe you didn't think, maybe you don't even think like that. You just know a certain amount, and then you learn something you didn't know, and it's this big thing, this epiphany, you know what I mean? And so you're like, it is, yeah, for sure. And then you think like, the range of what you know shouldn't be considered a box that you're stuck within, right? It's really kind of the opposite. What you don't know is the box you're stuck in. You know what I mean? This is this blind little ignorant box of not knowing anything. And then as you learn more, the box gets bigger. You know what I mean? And all of the stuff that Bach did that are considered like rules and inside the box is just the opposite. It's just this huge coliseum of space, you know, like of room to like do different things. There are some things that he didn't do. He didn't do a lot of stuff, right? He wasn't Bill Evans. His music was different from Bill Evans. So what's Bill Evans doing that he's not? Well, over time, we started to think things less linear. Bach thought of like melodies left to right, you know? And the way we look at things now is like just blocks, you know, like block chords instead of broken chords. And we'll go to this chord and we'll go to that chord and we'll go to this chord. And with Bach, he had a melody that he would consider the melody and its intervals. And then when he has another melody underneath it, that melody has, you know, maybe it's the same melody, or maybe it's a different one, and that those melodies have to, he'll judge just the way he judges the intervals from left to right. Then when they're on top of each other, he judges the intervals between the two of them, because they have to be consonant intervals at certain times, and they're allowed to be dissonant at other times. And if they're consonant all the time, it's kind of boring. And if it's dissonant all the time, you know, I don't know, you probably burned at a stake back then. I don't really know. But nowadays, you're welcome to do dissonant all the time, and some people have. There's a guy who did fugues. Don't quote me on this, but somebody like 20th century, you know, like Richard Strauss. It's Richard Strauss. I don't even know how to say his name right, but Strauss is a name you've heard. I think he's one of the guys who's done it. Or there's something called tone poems, and I think they might be serialism. There's just other big macro methods, right? And serialism, or I don't know if serialism is different from a 12-tone roll. I can tell you what a 12-tone roll is. This is kind of really 20th century. It's like when you hear that stuff that sounds like noise, and it works perfect in like horror movies, but nobody sits back and like, oh, the beauty of this 12-tone. Except some people really pull it off. Alex Makachek has an album called Sick, and there's a track on there, I think, that, or maybe a few tracks that started off with that in mind, the 12-tone. Basic thing is you write a melody, right? Like maybe we write a melody that goes, how's it go? There we go. Yeah, maybe we'll write some kind of melody, right? Now, a 12-tone composition or whatever, row composition, however you call it, is where you can't use a note again until you've used all the other notes. So, I mean, that'd be like, okay, it's hard to even keep track of. Oh, that's an octave. We can't do that. So it'd have to be, we got a root, fifth, fourth, third, second. So we haven't had a sixth yet. And we haven't had a major seventh yet. Or a sharp four, rather. Like, and then we could go, it does sound kind of cool. Then we could have a flat third. We could do flat third, flat nine, and a seventh. Because a major seventh, we haven't done those yet. And like, what am I, you have to write it down. Because I'm like, what have I not used? I've got, now I'm free to use any note I want. Because I've used all the notes once, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now that I've used every note once, I can use any note I want. And once I use that note, then I can't use it again until I've used the other 11. You can use any kind of rhythm. But anyway, that's the idea behind a 12-tone row. That's a method, right?